historic sea monsters that might still be alive. Kraken. In the cold waters of the North Atlantic, long before modern research ships moved across the waves, sailors spoke in fearful tones of a creature that never showed its whole body at once. Only the surface told the story. A huge tentacle sliding across a deck, a long shadow moving under the hull, or a circle of bubbles racing upward like the sea exhaling. This was the Kraken, a monster said to be large enough to drag whole ships beneath the waves. Old Norse sagas described it as so vast that its back could be mistaken for a chain of small islands. When sailors anchored close and the creature began to sink, whirlpools formed that swallowed vessels without warning. The first written description came from medieval Scandinavian texts, but the legend lived much longer along the coasts of Norway and Iceland. Fishermen spoke of the sea turning quiet, and the birds growing still just before an encounter. Many returned home pale and silent, describing enormous arms covered in suckers, large enough to hold a human head. Others never returned at all. In the 18th century, Bishop Eric Pontoppidan wrote a serious account of the Kraken, believing that enough reports existed to treat it as a real animal rather than a legend. Ship's logs recorded sudden disappearances, broken masts, or awful marks carved into hulls. The Kraken became a warning that the sea kept secrets older than humankind. Modern science now suspects that the Kraken stories may not be fantasy. In the 19th and 20th centuries, bodies of giant squids washed ashore, their tentacles stretching more than 13 meters. Later, the colossal squid was discovered, even larger and heavier. Living in deep polar waters, these animals rarely surface, and their world is dark, cold, and untouched. Whale carcasses have been found carrying deep circular scars, suggesting battles with something enormous just beneath the twilight layer of the sea. The Kraken may not be a myth, but an early encounter with deep-sea life only rarely seen. And considering that much of the ocean floor has never been explored, the possibility remains that even larger cephalopods wait unseen in the abyss. Megalodon. Long before modern life filled the continents, the ancient oceans were ruled by a predator unlike anything living today. This was Megalodon, a giant shark, whose size and strength made it the undisputed master of the seas. Fossil teeth bigger than a man's hand show how enormous this animal once was, and scientific estimates suggest a length reaching up to 18 meters. Whale bones from prehistoric times sometimes carry bite marks that match Megalodon's teeth, proof of its ability to hunt prey other predators could not challenge. For millions of years, this shark moved through warm coastal waters, feeding on early whales and other large sea creatures with complete dominance. Main science states that Megalodon disappeared around 2.6 million years ago, likely due to changes in climate, ocean temperatures, and food availability. However, the disappearance is not fully understood. Shark skeletons rarely fossilize well, because they are made mostly of cartilage, so the fossil record has gaps. 2 Megalodon teeth discovered in the early 20th century were dated far younger than expected, raising debate about whether the species may have survived longer than believed. Reports from sailors and deep-sea crews in the 1800s and 1900s mention giant shapes beneath ships too large to be any recorded shark. With more than 80% of the ocean still unexplored, the deep sea remains a place where unknown life might exist. The discovery of the coelacanth in 1938 proved that ancient species can survive unnoticed. Whether Megalodon truly survives remains unknown, but until the deepest waters are fully studied, its legend will continue. Sea Serpent. For thousands of years, sailors from distant cultures described the same strange creature rising from the waves, known today as the Sea Serpent. This animal appears in legends from China, Scandinavia, New England, and many other regions. Witnesses told of a long, dark body moving through the sea like a ribbon, leaving a noticeable wake on the surface. The creature's head was sometimes said to resemble a horse or lizard, with large eyes glinting above the water before disappearing again. Unlike whales or dolphins, which surface in predictable movements, sea serpents were reported gliding smoothly in long curves that seemed unlike any known marine animal. One of the most famous sightings took place in 1848, when the British naval vessel HMS Daedalus documented an encounter in the South Atlantic. The ship's captain, officers, and several crew members provided signed statements describing an animal approximately 18 meters in length with a ridge or mane along its back. Newspapers across Europe reported the story, and the event became one of the best recorded sea serpent sightings of the 19th century. In the early 1800s, residents of Gloucester, Massachusetts, also reported multiple sightings of a similar creature, and their statements were recorded in public files. Scientists have suggested several possible explanations. One is the oarfish, a real deep-sea fish that can reach lengths of 11 meters and can resemble a serpent when seen near the surface. Others propose unknown eel species or unclassified deep-sea animals, Because similar descriptions appear across cultures and centuries, some believe witnesses may have seen a real creature that rarely approaches shallow waters, leaving the sea serpent as one of the most enduring marine mysteries. Leviathan. In ancient literature, one ocean creature stood apart from all others as a symbol of unstoppable power. The Leviathan appeared in Hebrew writings, Babylonian myth, and Phoenician history. Described as a monster capable of breaking warships and breathing flames, it became a representation of chaos and the dangerous power of the wilderness sea. Religious texts portrayed it as a serpent, or dragon that ruled the depths, fought gods, and represented primordial terror. Many historians believe the Leviathan may have been inspired by real encounters with massive whales. Early civilizations had limited understanding of the sea, and large sperm whales surfacing under boats could appear supernatural. Some cultures describe these animals with armored hides, explosive exhalations, or bone-crushing strength. Others suggest the Leviathan may be rooted in ancient sightings of giant marine reptiles or other large creatures now extinct. Even today, large whales engage in aggressive fights that send water flying into the air, creating dramatic scenes easily translated into myth. The Leviathan may not have been a single species, but an ancient symbol born from repeated encounters with giant sea life that early humans could not fully explain. Mosasaurus. During the late Cretaceous period, an apex predator dominated the oceans with powerful jaws, flippers like paddles, and a long muscular tail. Known as Mosasaurus, this marine reptile reached lengths of up to 14 meters, and preyed on fish, turtles, and even other marine reptiles. Fossils discovered in Europe and North America show a creature built for speed and power, with sharp teeth arranged for gripping prey before swallowing it whole. Mosasaurus ruled the oceans until the mass extinction event 66 million years ago. However, the seafloor preserves far fewer fossils than land, and paleontology has already uncovered living species once thought vanished. The coelacanth, a fish unchanged for millions of years, was presumed extinct until a living specimen appeared in a fishing net in 1938. If a species could survive unrecorded for that long, so could others. Some modern sightings describe a long-bodied creature with flippers and a reptile-like head surfacing in remote ocean stretches. These accounts sometimes come from sailors, commercial ships, or coastal residents who described a shape matching ancient marine reptiles rather than modern mammals. While no proof has confirmed the survival of Mosasaurus, the ocean's unexplored depths leave room for speculation. The idea of an ancient predator waiting in the dark trenches remains one of the most chilling possibilities in marine cryptozoology. Ninga. In the frozen waters of the Southern Ocean, where icebergs drift silently beneath the aurora, modern sightings tell of a pale creature moving like a ghost through the depths. Japanese fishing vessels in the late 20th century reported encounters with a massive, smooth white figure, measuring as long as 20 to 30 meters. Crews described a body shaped like a whale, but with features resembling limbs, a rounded head, and sometimes a face with eyes staring through the darkness. The creature became known as ningen, a Japanese word meaning human. Reports suggest the creature surfaced rarely, often disappearing underwater with slow, deliberate grace. Photos circulated in newspapers and magazines, showing indistinct white shapes beneath the water's surface. Some believe the ningen to be a new species of giant aquatic mammal adapted for the freezing Antarctic environment. Others viewed it as a misidentified whale, perhaps an albino or unknown variant, made mysterious by low visibility and harsh conditions. Antarctica remains one of the least explored places on Earth, and large biological forms could exist there with minimal scientific contact. Whether the ningen is a misunderstood whale or something entirely new, its image has taken root as one of the most unsettling modern marine mysteries. Giant octopus. Octopuses are some of the most intelligent marine creatures, capable of solving complex problems, mimicking surroundings, and escaping from sealed containers. The largest known species, the giant Pacific octopus, can reach more than 9 meters arm to arm, but some legends suggest that even larger individuals exist. Sailors in the 19th century, including experienced fishermen, spoke of enormous tentacled shapes rising from the depths, their suckers the size of plates and arms strong enough to snap wooden beams. Whalers reported aggressive battles beneath the surface, with massive sucker marks found on whale hide during processing. These scars suggest confrontations with large cephalopods living deep below. Some marine biologists believe that an undiscovered octopus species may inhabit the abyss, adapted to pressure, darkness, and cold. Because octopus bodies are soft, they fossilize poorly, making ancient species difficult to study. The possibility of a giant deep-sea octopus remains scientifically plausible, especially given the ocean's unexplored regions. Like the Kraken myth, Legends of the giant octopus may represent early contact with an intelligent and powerful animal that only rarely approaches the surface. Giant jellyfish. Among the most alien of ocean animals are jellyfish, boneless, brainless, and often transparent. Some species drift for decades in deep ocean trenches, feeding slowly and glowing faintly in bioluminescent displays. The lion's mane jellyfish, one of the largest known species, can possess tentacles longer than 37 meters, longer than a blue whale, yet many deep-water jellyfish have never been photographed or studied alive. Submersible cameras have occasionally captured enormous gelatinous shapes, moving slowly through the dark. Some appear far larger than any species officially recorded. Deep-sea currents can preserve such life in complete isolation, allowing growth far beyond surface norms. Sightings of large shapeless masses floating upward at night have sparked speculation about entire ecosystems that remain undocumented. Like other deep-sea species, giant jellyfish remain possible due to minimal fossil record, fragile bodies, and massive unexplored habitats. Their silent movement and ghostly appearance make them one of the ocean's most haunting mysteries. The bloop. In 1997, underwater microphones operated by the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration recorded a sound that defied easy explanation. It was louder than the vocalizations of any known whale, and carried across thousands of kilometers through deep water. The recording was nicknamed the bloop. The acoustic signature resembled organic sound rather than mechanical or geological noise, suggesting a living origin. For years, no known species matched the power required to create it. Later studies proposed that large icebergs fracturing in deep water could generate similar acoustic results. However, some ocean researchers questioned whether such natural events could produce the distinct frequency shift characteristic of animal communication. The deeper question centered on the ocean itself. If an animal produced the bloop, it would be larger and louder than any creature currently recognized by science. No confirmation has yet been found. But the event remains a reminder that unknown forces move within the sea, powerful enough to be heard across entire ocean basins. The ocean still keeps its deepest secrets hidden. More discoveries await in the shadows below. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe for more mysterious stories from the world beneath the waves.